Sound check two. Sound check two. August 23rd, HWC DSB Liaison Committee. Sound check two. Sound check 3. Sound check 3. Sound check 4. Sound check 4.
All right, everyone, so we are live. Good morning. I would like to call this meeting of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board Liaison Committee to order. Members of the public are advised that our meetings are webcast live by the City of Hamilton and temporarily archived on the city's website. Other individuals in the media may also be audibly and/or visually recording this meeting. The presentations and reports considered at this meeting are available on the city's website, and that members of the public can contact the clerk's office to acquire documents in an alternate format. A reminder that all electronic devices not required for participation in this meeting are to be switched to a non-audible function during committee meetings. Members of the committee are reminded of the 5-minute time limit, which will be adhered to during this meeting. Members can also submit another request to speak if they require more time to ask questions or make comments. As this committee has not met in some time, I would like to ask members to take this opportunity to introduce themselves if they could. So we can begin with Pat Daly, who's also joining us today in the room live. Pat?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Pat Daly, the chair of the Hamilton Catholic School Board.
Good morning, everybody. I'm David Hanson. I'm the Director of Education with the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board.
All right, and we have on WebEx, we have John with us as well. John, if you could take us off.
I'm John Valvasari, the Vice Chair of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board.
Oh, Councillor Clark, I'm looking to you.
I'm Councillor Brad Clark. I represent Ward 9, which is from the Upper Red Hill Valley Parkway to Grimsby and the escarpment to the Hydro Corridor.
Wonderful. And Mr. Mayor?
Yes, good morning. I'm His Worshipfulness Fred Eisenberger, Mayor of the fine, fine city of Hamilton. Good to see you all this morning.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. And members not in attendance today are also Councillor Whitehead. Please note that quorum is present. Our first order of business is the appointment of a new chair and vice chair of the committee for the balance of the 2018 to 2022 term. May I have nominations for chair, please?
Thank you. And if I have a chance, I'll have other words of appreciation at the end, but I would be pleased to nominate His Worship, Mayor Eisenberger, as chair.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
you got the jump on me, Pat. I was going to nominate you as chair, so. I will decline. I think there's a reasonable expectation and chance that many of you will be back doing the work that you're doing, and it's guaranteed that I will not be. So I think it might be more appropriate that we pick a chair that is likely to continue on with this important dialogue between the school board and the city. So let me decline your nomination. Thank you very much. Very gracious of you, and I would nominate as chair Mr. Daly.
Mr. Daly?
Well, thank you, and thank you, Your Worship, and I would be honored to accept the role.
Okay, do I have a seconder? Councillor Clark, I see. All right, all in favor, show of hands. Carried. Thank you. May I have nominations for vice chair, please?
I'd like to nominate Brad Clark.
Councillor Clark?
I really don't know what all this committee does yet, but I would graciously accept. I learn fast, don't I, Mayor?
Do I have a seconder for Councillor Clark? I
I'll
see,
second
Mr.
that.
Mayor. Thank you. All right, so all in favor? Show of hands? Carried. Thank you. All right. Pat, would you be honored to take over the chair now?
Yes, I would, and thank you for the great job you did beginning our meeting. And our first order of business, our next order of business, item 2, would be with regard to changes to the agenda. And if I can ask Madam Clerk, are there any changes?
No, Mr. Chair, there are no changes to the agenda today.
Okay, thank you.
So you need a vote to approve the changes.
Yes, after I ask, right?
Yes, so we just need a vote now.
Yes.
It's not, misplaced the vote.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. But you'll just need a mover and seconder
For
to,
the agenda, approve the agenda. Yeah, I was going to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So can I invite someone to move and second approval of the agenda? Moved by Mayor Eisenberger, seconded by Vice Chair of the Catholic Board, Valvasori. Any comments on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Thank you. We'll move on then to the next item of our agenda, the item 3, declarations of interest. Can I ask, are there any? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to item 4, 4.1, the approval of the minutes of our previous meeting, January 29th, 2018. Are there any questions, comments, suggested revisions to the minutes? Okay, seeing none, thumbs up. Could I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes as written? Moved by John Bavasori, seconded by Mayor Eisenberger. Questions, comments on the motion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Item 5, communications. I don't believe there are any.
sorry, there are none.
Okay, thank you. And item 6, no delegation requests?
Oh, there are none.
Just read the roadmap? Yeah.
Yes, okay.
We just have an item 10 for discussion.
Yes, right. I was just going through the written agenda that was sent. Okay, so I'll move to item 10, 10.1, the review of the terms of reference of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District Board City Liaison Committee. And before we get to that, because I think this will be the only opportunity I have, first on behalf of the Hamilton-Wentworth Catholic District School Board and all of our students, staff, parents, I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor. You indicated earlier your decision, which I'm sure was difficult, not to seek re-election, but on behalf of our board, I want to thank you for your many years of service to the city of Hamilton, the citizens of Hamilton, but most directly in terms of our Catholic School Board. You've always been extremely accessible, supportive, and I know numerous events we had the honor of your presence and always knew that we could count on your support. So I do want to thank you very, very much and wish you all of God's blessings in your journey, wherever that may lead you. And through you to, and Councillor Clark, to City Council and the staff of the city, and most specifically to Dr. Richardson and the staff at Hamilton Public Health. We want to thank you very, very much. I don't have to tell any of you or those listening what a challenging 2.5 years it's been for everyone, including publicly funded schools. And I can just say it very, very clearly, without the support and council recommendations from public health, I don't know where we would have been. They worked tirelessly to ensure that the community, but as well our schools, students and staff were safe. So I did want to begin by expressing publicly our deep gratitude to all of you. And with that, I will ask if there are any comments, discussion with regard to the terms of reference as presented. Mayor. Yes, Mayor Eisenberger.
So thank you very much for those very kind words, Pat, about myself. And, you know, it's been an honor and privilege to have served our city in various capacities, but certainly as mayor for 12 years has been just the honor and privilege of my life, and to be able to work with both of the school boards. And, you know, as you well know, and I'm sure the community knows, that, you know, half of our taxes that are collected goes to school boards, and that relationship between, our school boards and the city of Hamilton is ever more important, and certainly highlighted by, as you just pointed out, the biggest challenge that we've faced as a community in the last 100 years, which is the pandemic and COVID. And were it not for some great, talented folks at public health and the collaboration and cooperation that we saw happening throughout the pandemic between all levels of government, and the likes of which I've never seen in my time here at the city, between the federal government, provincial government, school boards, ministries, and public health and council. It has been an incredible journey that we've navigated very, very successfully, because we all understood and needed and appreciated what needed to be done to keep people safe and to keep our community as robust as possible as we dealt with these very, very significant challenges. And as I think about it today, and you may have the same view, it's almost surreal what we ended up doing. When I process it today, I go, did we really do that? Did we do all of those things that we've asked our community to do? Did we, empty out our schools and close down our parks and ask people to stay home and not connect with anyone else? And all of those things, thankfully today we're in a different place and a better place. And that's a testament to the collaborative effort in our entire community to get us to where we are today. And hopefully that collaboration will continue. And that is why I think it's so important to continue on with the very good work between our school boards and our city as we go forward. And I would on the terms of reference, then, to get back to that, and thank you for all of your leadership at the school board. Again, it happens in collaboration, and there was a real need to be on the same page through this process, and that certainly happened throughout the entire exercise. So we thank you for that as well. I'm fully supportive of the terms of reference. The only comment I would make is that we are going to have a new council, and you may or may not have new members. So maybe we ought to, in the same breath, say to the next term that the next council and the next council representatives and your next trustees may want to have a look at the terms of reference to see if there's anything that they might want to adjust going forward. But as it stands today, it's about dialogue and collaboration and communication, and that's certainly something that is a no-brainer as to where we sit today. But I think it would be helpful for us to ask the new term of council and the new term of trustees to either endorse or review these terms of reference for the next 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Other comments? Councilor Clark, please.
Thank you, Chair Daly. I've read the terms of reference. I have no objections to what is there, and I honestly, at this moment, do not have any suggestions in terms of the ways and means to improve those terms of reference. I would concur with the mayor that we need to step into this with the acknowledgement that the new term may bring changes, but I'm assuming, Madam Clerk, that would be one of the first jobs of the newly appointed committee in the new term. Is that correct?
Through the chair, that's correct, Councillor Clark. They would review the terms of reference in the new term. However, at today's meeting was to discuss sort of the need and the usefulness of the committee going forward. We could go into the history a bit, but it's up to the chair for a discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Clerk. And just, I couldn't agree more with Mayor Eisenberger and Councillor Clark, both in terms of the terms of reference and I really think they, over the years, have been helpful. Obviously, the last 2.5 years, because of everything we've talked about, we have not met, but a number of times before that we did. So, I would support completely with what they said and would agree that in terms of any larger discussions about the value of the committee, which I think is extremely valuable, but I think they are best left for the new council and the new board of trustees. But trustee, Councillor
So,
Clark?
Mr. Chair, at the appropriate time, I'd be happy to move the terms of reference as they are written today, with that one acknowledgement that it will also be re-examined by the new term of trustees and councillors.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And just before we put the motion on the table, trustee Valdesari?
I would be happy to second the motion.
Okay, so just because I'm looking at, and obviously require the assistance of the clerk, my understanding is the original intent was to receive. So and then we'll add on Councillor Clark. Not necessary, it's automatic, okay. Councillor Clark, did you hear that? It's automatic, that at the first meeting of following the election, that this committee would review them once again?
That's perfect then. So is the clerk looking for receipt of this terms of reference or approval of the terms of reference?
Yes, through
Madam
the
Clerk?
chair. Yes, through the chair. It's just to receive the terms of reference as is. Thank you.
Happy to modify the motion accordingly.
Thank you, Councillor Clark, and trustee Valdesari, similar, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay, thank you, and I see Mayor Eisenberger's hand.
Yeah, just to follow on what the clerk had mentioned, which is to discuss the value of this important collaboration. And even though we haven't met in the last three, I think things got in the way. I think it would be it would be helpful to continue to speak to the importance of this this relationship. There are many things that we need to do together, whether it's schools opening and closing, park facilities, you name it. There's a significant amount of interaction between our city staff and the school board staff for all the right reasons, and communicating and providing advance notice and opportunity to have those kind of discussions between staff as well as between the committee members here, I think is extremely helpful to avoid conflict. And we know that conflict can happen, especially when we're talking about decommissioning schools that sometimes are seen as park spaces, and there's local community interest. All of those things, I think, are things that we can hopefully head off from any conflict and controversy by good, robust, in advance dialogue. So in terms of the value of this committee, I would say, yes, we haven't met often, but I think the frequency can be enhanced. I'd recommend a couple of times a year, just to get updates, and as needed, if there's more that's required in between. But the value of this, in my mind, is solid, and I hope that all of us can agree that this is an important collaboration that needs to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I see thumbs up and nodding from two other committee members, and I couldn't agree with you more. My years of experience, both on the committee and working with yourself and councilors, has been nothing but positive, and I think the fact that perhaps we haven't met as often as some of us would like speaks to the collaboration between staff at the board and the city, and how positive that is, as well as the relationships between the elected officials in the best interest of both the citizens of Hamilton and the students that we serve. So thank you for that. So we have a motion on the floor. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carried. Thank you. And following on, we'll move to item 13, general information, other business. There was none added. Any at this point? I see none. Item 14, nothing. Item 15, again, with deep appreciation to Madam Clerk for all the work organizing the agenda and as well our schedules. Thank you very much. We know that that's never an easy task, and thank you to all the committee members. And could we have a motion for adjournment? Counselor Clark. And at our board, we don't usually second adjournment. Do you need a second? We do, okay. Trustee Valisori, will you second? Thank you.
Oh, this is all too quick. Can't we linger a while?
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you all. Thank you all, and I look forward to
Bye.
seeing you in person sooner. Sorry, I wasn't there in person today, but we'll take the opportunity to make that happen between now and November, I'm sure.
For
And my
sure.
apologies also, I couldn't make it down there. I had a injection in my right